LeBron, just wondered what these last couple of days have been like for you.
Besides last night, being able to go to my boys' games last night, pretty just confused and, frustrated, angry, just not being able to do anything. I haven't been able to do anything. Been sitting in the house since I got back Monday evening, all the way till I got cleared at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And this morning was the first time I got an opportunity to actually touch a basketball since Sunday's game versus Detroit. So,
How did that impact? And was it just kind of having to take tests? Did you think that there was a chance that you would get cleared in this manner?
No, I knew I was going to get cleared because I never ever felt sick at all. And I know you could be asymptomatic, but if what I had was a positive COVID test, then what are we doing? What are we talking about? So I just thought it was just handled very poorly, but it all came to the light just taking the test and being able to get cleared. That was definitely a breath of fresh air for not only for myself but for my family and friends and everybody that's involved.
Well, first of all, glad to hear you're healthy. There's a report that in a couple weeks, the league's going to start having game day testing for players who have not received the booster shot for COVID-19. I'm curious to know whether you have received one and whether this process has made you rethink the.
No.
Yeah.
No. This process is. I've been. We've all been doing exactly what the protocol has told us to do, and taking the tests and things of that nature. It's unfortunate when you get a false positive and you get put right into isolation. And that's just the unfortunate part. But see what happens.
Yeah, I kind of have two for you. You said you were angry. What part of the process angered you specifically?
What part of the process? The fact that I tested negative first, and then my second test came back positive. And usually, when you have a positive test, they will test you right away to make sure. There was not a follow-up test after my positive test. It was straight isolation, and you've been put into protocol. And that's the part that kind of angered me. And I had to figure out a way to get home from Sacramento, by myself. They wouldn't allow anyone to travel with me, no security, no anything, when I traveled back from Sacramento. And then, I had to put, my kids in isolation for the time being and put the people in my household in isolation for the time being. So it was just a big time inconvenience. So that was the anger part.
To a more basketball point, the false positive kept you off the court. You've been off the court for a lot of different reasons. I just noticed today, you haven't played 4 straight games this season. Because I guess when you hear that, how crazy is that? That we're a quarter of the way in. And how much has that affected kind of your ability to get into the sort of rhythm that you would like to be in at this point of the season?
I felt like, obviously before Sacramento, going into Sacramento, I was getting into the rhythm that a really, really good rhythm. Offensively, defensively, as a team, we're playing well, and those guys did a hell of a job winning that game. But for me, it's just been very frustrating, either, dealing with the groin or the abdomen, and then having to deal with the false positive that knocked me out of the game. And then knocked me off the floor and not being able to keep my rhythm. It's been a very challenging year to start forth through the season for myself, but only good things ahead.
Just wondering, I know obviously it was a frustrating process and inconvenient process for you, but was there any point today where you kind of get back to the game, back to the team, maybe even just being in this building where you kind of felt like relief or any of those emotions?
Not just being around the guys, obviously, that's always a great feeling. I love being around these guys and competing and playing the game that I love. So definitely got excited last night watching both of my boys play the game, and that gave me a great boost. To get back out here tonight and see what I had. I knew I would be out of rhythm because I haven't, like I said, you go 4 straight days without touching the basketball or being able to get on the floor and work. And I know how much, I put into my craft on a day-to-day basis. I knew I wouldn't have exactly what I needed for this game, but I was just happy to be out there.
Hey, LeBron, given what you've gone through this week with the protocols, what changes would you hope the league makes moving forward with the whole setup?
No, I think they've done a great job. Ever since the protocol has been put into place. I just think, the way it was handled in Sacramento was just a little different. I would say that. But from a league standpoint, they've done a hell of a job. See, that's what I'll be talking about.
LeBron, you've been playing more center lately, and I'm curious how your responsibilities on both ends kind of change center.
Yeah, I think I'm able to bark out the commands, and besides tonight where I was pretty defensive end tonight, just my rhythm and my keys and things of that nature. But besides that, I get an opportunity to kind of tell the guys in front of me, because I'm the back line of the defense, I'm able to let them know exactly what's coming, so we can kind of stay above everything that's happening. We can kind of, I can see everything that's developing. So it's been pretty good for us this year when we've had myself and Melo at the 4 and the 5. Besides those, first 5 minutes or whatever, 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, where I was pretty bad, but that's been a pretty good lineup for us, especially defensively, and also obviously offensively, because we have so much space and so many shot makers on the floor.
Bro, I'm just curious. Ty's been able to bring the best out of his teams, no matter who's out of the lineup, in the lineup. Ty Lue, what have you seen from his growth as a coach over the years since you've been with him? And last year leading the Clippers to the conference finals without Kawhi. What have you seen from him in his growth, and what's he like as a coach that is able to bring the best out of him?
Ty Lue is great. Simple as that. Obviously, you guys know I played for him, and what we was able to do. Ty Lue is great. He's great at every facet of the game, I know as a coach he doesn't have a weakness.
Hey, Bron, you said tonight on the defensive side of the ball you could have been better. As a team, you guys allowed the Clippers to make 15 three-pointers. So how do you think you guys can clean up and tighten up the defense moving forward to not give up the open shots and also in the key moments of the game?
We didn't allow them to make 15 threes. Obviously, one thing about it, when the Clippers are playing extremely well, we know they're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league. So with that said, I thought a lot of those we were playing some really good defense. The Kennard 3 away from their bench was an open 3. They did a great job coming out of timeout, and Ty Lue drove something great that exploited our defense. But the next Kennard 3 that he made, we played great defense. AD got a hell of a contest. He made it. And the last Marcus Senior shot off the glass. So I thought, pretty much we were, on time and on target with our defense, but sometimes